Hey everyone, Justin Brawl here. Today I'm going to do my discussion video on who I believe are going to play important roles in Pokemon the series X, Y, and Z Team Flare arc. And by the time of this recording, this is going to be released one episode behind when the Team Flare arc actually happened, when it first began, and the next episode is going to be released tomorrow in Japan's Standard Time. But I figure it's still too early in the arc, and I figure it's just about right enough time to believe who are going to play important roles in the series, or at least what I believe are going to play important roles in the arc. And knowing how the Kalos League ended, and I feel like this is also how the characters have grown over the course of the series, I figured this is the right time to do it. Before I get into this, I just want to know that these are completely my own opinions. Whether you agree or disagree is completely up to you, and if you have any comments about the choices I made, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you guys think. And with that being said, let's get started with my first pick. Now, the first pick in your hand felt like a no-brainer to me, but also can be quite questionable depending on how you feel towards this character. And that character is Bonnie. Now, the reason I say Bonnie was going to play in the biggest role here is the way how her relationship is with Squishy. Like with the Dene, she chose to take care of Squishy when we first met Squishy in the episode From A to Z, or in Japanese title episode, The Explosive Birth of Z, That Which Lies Hidden in Kalos. Upon either trying to capture Squishy after trying to flee away, Bonnie made it her goal to take care of Squishy. Unbeknownst to exactly what Squishy is, whether it's a new Pokemon or something completely different. After one altercation with Team Flare from that episode, she said he'd truly be more protective of Squishy. And that was even shown more in the episode in Terminus Cave, where, after one altercation with Team Flare once again, Squish decides to truly run away from Bonnie. Bonnie being frightened by this, she decided to go out and find him. And after seeing how Bonnie truly cares for Pokemon, not just Squishy itself, decided to return back, warmed by Bonnie's caring heart and affection. And ever since then, Bonnie and Squishy become a little more tighter. Now, this is based on the episodes alone. But I was also reason the fact that she will play a big role is the way how the Japanese openings of Pokemon X, Y, and Z have shown Bonnie to be in. In both versions of the opening series, in the opening sequence, you can see the fact that Bonnie in her hands right in front of Ash, Clement, and Serena, holding Squishy in her arms. And she's actually the first person to stare back at Team Flare. This hinting the fact that Bonnie is going to play the biggest role here is because of how Squishy truly trusts Bonnie in order to take care of it. Not to say that Squishy trusts everyone else, but it deeply cares for Bonnie the most. Even in the second version of the series, when the Team Flare arc is about to happen, we get to see the fact that Bonnie was actually right in the middle of a completely battle against Squishy's complete form against Team Flare's Zygarde form. Being in the center of that means the fact that Bonnie is going to witness a true battle between Goliath-sized Pokemon, and actually going to be worried the fact that Squishy might not be able to come back. Whether or not if Squishy wins or Zygarde defeats Squishy and Team Flare captures Squishy once again. So that's completely up to how the writers are going to do with it, but I hope the fact that the writers make Bonnie actually be this important character. This is the first time the only time in the entire Pokemon series where one of Ash's companions plays a big role in the Pokemon world as a whole. Being the fact that Bonnie actually carries the Pokemon and takes care of one Pokemon that could either bring the destruction or bring new life into the Pokemon world. That's my first choice, Bonnie. Now my second choice is not towards to a human right now, but towards to one of the creatures. And that is Squishy/Z Core. Now the reason I say that this is the only time where a Pokemon itself in your hand plays a big role in a certain arc, it's the role the Pokemon does for the evil organization's intentions. Since Team Flare's ambitions wants to re-beautify the world that was present in the video games, and most likely in the Pokemon anime series as a whole, Squishy holds the power needed in order to do that. And since Team Flare already has one half of the Z cores, the Squishy with the blue symbol core, and Bonnie has the red core, Team Flare needs both halves in order to complete their plans. Now this is where I believe that Squishy is going to play big parts. This is actually going to be one of the few times where Squishy gets into a fight. Squishy might have to transform into any of his forms in order to fight. But most likely hinted in from the preview of the next episode, Squishy will go into his complete Z form to fight against Zygarde on top of Prison Tower. This is basically battle one in the series episodes where two legendary Pokemon collide. Most of the time it's either legendaries in the films, or sometimes where one legendary confronts against the main characters. But when two legendary Pokemon go against each other, it's something only Pokemon trainers get to witness once in a lifetime. Maybe not, depending on where they're going. But this is where things are getting really touching for both Bonnie and Squishy. Now, whether or not Squishy in your hand would win is completely up to his abilities. And knowing the fact that somehow in his subconscious that Squishy has to return back to Bonnie at some point. And now the fact that how Squishy truly is warmed by Bonnie's affection and warming heart, Squishy will do whatever it takes in order to protect Bonnie. Hence on why Team Squishy will go up against Zygarde in the top of Prison Tower. So this is the moment. This is definitely more where a Pokemon in the series goes up against a team of evil organization, either by itself or with the power of others in order to help win. And just the way how the new version of the Pokemon XYZ Japanese opening is, we get to see Squishy in his complete Z form go up against Zygarde in breakneck speed and towards the end of the series, and then there's an explosion. So it's expected a huge lot of explosion fighting in between the two. Now, whether or not they're going to go that far, it's completely up to the writers. Again, everything pretty much falls on how the writers are going to do the series. And now my last and final characters are going to play an important role, but most likely less after how the Cow's League ended. I was waiting to see after how Cow's League ended in order for these two characters to meet. That is Ash and Alon. Now the reason I say Ash and Alon is because after the Cow's League ended, and knowing how it ended the way it did, I was hoping the fact that maybe Ash and Alon will have a potential rematch again, and Ash will at least get a chance to either beat Alon, or the match will end at a draw. And in the episode when they first met, they're meeting each other. This, according to the narrator, was history. But nobody knows how important the meetings between Ash and Alon is for the future of the Cow's League, the Cow's region, or for the Pokemon world. Alon was this one character that was introduced in the Pokemon XYZ Mega Evolution specials, but then ultimately became part of the main story as a recurring character when aligned with Team Flare in order to help Marion and Chessman when Chessman got sick. Now, whether or not Alon broke his ties out with Team Flare is still up in the air, after knowing how he knew that Chessman got sick. But knowing how powerful Lysander is, how much power he has, he'll most likely use Marion and Chessman's situation as a way to guilt trip Alon to work with them again in order to battle Ash and to prevent them from stopping Team Flare's plans. But upon after seeing the Chaos League, after seeing the bomb finale between Ash and Greninja, when Greninja transformed into the Ash Greninja, Lysander might take an interest in Ash's abilities and decided to kidnap Ash and his Pokemon in order to use their energy. And this might cause Alon to... Yeah, this most likely will cause Alon to take action or try to save Ash and its Pokemon. This also depends on how those are going to be resolved. If the entire Pokemon League realizes that Alon works with Team Flare, not exactly sure if Alon's going to be put in prison or something either worse, like he'll be banned from the Chaos League or something. And knowing how the Chaos League ended, spoiler alert, that Alon is now officially the Chaos League champion. He might have to vacate his title and might give it to Ash, or something else would happen. Depends. It really depends on how big his reveal is that Alon works with Team Flare. Now, the two things can either happen between these two characters. Either the Ash versus Alon rematch, or Alon signed with the characters in order to save Ash. And from the hints that we got from the preview, most likely, or at least in the first episode, we can see that Ash is being captured by Team Flare. So Alon will have to do it in his best in order to get the heroism that he needs in order to save Ash. Or maybe not, dude, because of his alliance because of his somewhat of an alliance with Team Flare. Now, here's the end. And the reason, in fact, that all these characters play important roles is because of the way how the series progressed. For mostly how three characters grow as characters in the series. For one being from the little sister and becoming the key holder to one of the Pokemon out there that can potentially destroy or create a new world. Two characters that are conflicted by two different sides. Especially in the episode during the Chaos League where Ash actually met Lysander for the first time and Alon reunited with Professor Sycamore. Knowing that those two moments happened is more of a confliction between two trainers. One trainer trying to do the right thing because of her friend, and the other trainer who deeply cares for Pokemon doesn't want to see them get hurt. And in fact, the other trainer has a strange bond with his Pokemon. And that might be useful in the future for Team Flare. Now, I said it again, this is completely my own opinions. Whether or not these moments are actually going to happen in the series is completely up to the writers. And whether or not you agree with me or not, it really depends on what you think how these characters did in the series. Chaos League ending notwithstanding. So those are my characters who I believe are going to play important roles on Team Flare Climax Arc. Let me know what you think in the comment section below and who you think should play the more important roles in the series. Is it the same the characters I mentioned, or someone else completely different? And do you believe this is actually the final be-all end-all moment of the Pokemon Chaos League saga? Let me know in the comment section below, and I hope to do this more with you guys later in the future. And with that being said, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and share this video with a friend, and I'll see you all next time for the next videos.